Hello everyone, if you're new here, my name is Malka Assad, a plastic surgery resident in the US, and in this video we'll go over a commonly asked residency interview question, which is why this specialty? Mastering this question is key because when you answer that question in an excellent manner, it conveys maturity to the interviewer that you know what you're getting yourself into. You know the specialty, and that is based on your own experiences rather than things you heard from people or read online or cliches about the specialty. You can also use this question as an opportunity for you to convey your strength. The clinical experiences that you had within the specialty are a strength that you can convey. If you did research that increased your interest in the specialty, that's also a strength that you can convey. So the answer to the specialty can not only give you the checkbox that you answered it, but can also increase your chances of getting the spot through the strength that you're going to convey. Few tips when it comes to answering the question of why the specialty. Avoid generic statements about the specialty. Don't say, I love internal medicine because in internal medicine you build long-term relationships with patients and you continue to learn about medicine, because these can apply to everyone. You can use this rule. If you take this answer and apply it to someone else and it fits, that means it's not a unique answer. Your answer should not fit within anybody else's story because it's your own story, it's your own experience. So when you're talking about why internal medicine, for example, you can say, during my third year medical school rotations, I started developing interest in internal medicine because I saw firsthand the complexity of the cases that we were handling, how each patient case was a medical puzzle, and how we work together, medical students, residents, and faculty, to find the best solution to take care of our patients. Here, now I can see that this person actually took care of internal medicine patients. They were doing medical rotations, they were working with residents, with faculty, they probably presented cases, they helped with the diagnosis. So now I see a real experience. Do you see the difference between the two scenarios? The first one was very generic, probably someone read it online or from a template. The other one comes from an actual experience. And the personal experience does not only reflect the maturity and the informed decision about pursuing the specialty, it also reflects strength. So this applicant is saying, I did US clinical experience, or I did rotations in internal medicine, away rotations, sub-Is, which means I did these things. So it's telling the interviewer that I have good US clinical experience or good clinical experience in general. So you're conveying strength. If you say, during my research experience at the Mayo Clinic, for example, I started working on different projects related to surgical oncology, and there I realized 1, 2, 3. Here, when you use research to convey the interest in the specialty in surgical oncology and surgery in general, you're telling the interviewer that I did research and I love these aspects about research and about the specialty. So that's how you can use each question to convey strength in an indirect manner. Don't say, I did this amount of research, published 5 papers and presented 7 abstracts. That is all on your CV. You are talking about the experience and why this experience meant to you, and you're talking at the same time about how this experience made you interested in the specialty or the fellowship that you are pursuing. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to research, if you developed interest as a result of research, you have to link it with clinical, because the research world might be different than the clinical realm. So it's fine if you developed interest in a specialty from your research, but you have to confirm that with the clinical setting. So if you say, my interest in pursuing surgery started during my time doing research at the Mayo Clinic because of 1, 2, 3. However, being in the OR working with surgical patients was even more fun. So you want to confirm that interest that started with research with clinical. One thing here to keep in mind, some people might ask, well, you're saying that you developed interest in surgery or in medicine when you were doing research, and you're confirming it now with your experiences after research. What about med school? You spent 6 years in med school or 4 years in med school and you did not develop any interest in these specialties during that time. That's why you need to be careful if you start expressing interest in a specialty after medical school. Some people might question, what were you doing during medical school? So keep all these things in mind and think always about how someone might not understand my answer right and how you adjust it to make sure that people do not misunderstand you. And finally, I don't generally recommend including patient presentations in your interview answer. This might fit in your personal statement, but in an interview it doesn't fit well. If you have a very impactful patient experience that you definitely want to include in your personal statement, make it concise. Don't start with during my third year rotation I had a 50-year-old patient with history of diabetes and melanoma who I did a physical exam. I took history. That is too boring for a residency interview. If you want to mention the case, mention very briefly, less than 15 seconds, to convey a very important story to you. And that's why I always recommend having interview sessions with people who are experienced with this to help you choose the stories, because every one of us has so many stories that they can mention during their answers. But I generally recommend keeping the answer between 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, and which means you have to select stories from your overall journey. You can't mention everything. I'm sure you might have 5 reasons why you're interested in internal medicine, but it might be too much to include in your answer. So try to keep your answer concise, maybe focus on 2 or 3 points, memorize the bullet points or the ideas that you want to mention, but expand on that during your answer. Don't memorize the answer word by word, because that's not gonna seem spontaneous. So after you brainstorm, choose few ideas and then expand on that during the interview. Definitely practice, but don't memorize the answer. And our list of experienced advisors are here to help you choose the best answer for each question. We do mock sessions in which the advisor interviews you as a program director. Then we give you feedback about your performance. And I actually have recorded a full session on how we run our interview preparation sessions. And I'll leave the link for this video in the cards above and in the description below. So if you need any help related to interview preparation, go ahead and check our packages, and I'll leave the link for that in the description below as well. That brings us to the end of this video. If you find any value watching this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell sign so you get notified whenever I post future videos on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Malki Assad, my Facebook page Malki Assad MD, or our email info@thematchguy.com. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and good luck on your interviews.